if I had 2 nickels for every time a ugly duck put its butt in my face, and I'd have 2 nickels short of 2 posterior dolphins.
Welcome, everyone, to Model Behavior, where we explore behind-the-scenes elbow grease of seemingly glamorous lives. Here with me today is average guy, Matthew Spruchman.
Hey, how's it going?
Eating cheese with his hands.
Finger.
I was like, Matthew? He brought down like 8 different cheeses, and I said, you cannot be cutting and clicking and clacking.
Don't forget the honey for cheese.
In my audience's ears for an hour. So, for those of you that are unaware, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory by the title, I guess, but what we're going to be doing is bringing models onto the show. All kinds of different models from different stages in their career. I've interviewed a successful swimsuit model. We have a runway model coming on. I just spoke with a plus-size model, new models, people that have been in the business for a long time. And we're exploring behind the scenes. What are we not seeing? Because all we see is like the super pretty picture that goes up at the very end, but there is so much complication that goes down behind the scenes, a lot of hustle, a lot of just really confusing stuff. It's a bizarre industry. So in order to introduce us to all of that, I thought, what better way to jumpstart our collective confusion in regard to this wild industry with average guy, Matthew Spruchman, in which I would love to ask him about his perceptions on the modeling industry. Matt, what are your connections to the modeling industry?
My modeling career did not take off the way I wanted it to. I watched Zoolander 1 and 2. The first one I've seen like 5 times. That's pretty much it. That's my connection.
So what do you do, Matt? What's your thing?
I am a technology consultant.
Mm-hmm. So
if you want to go somewhere to see the ugliest people in the world, come to my office.
Before you met me, Matt, did you have any modeling friends at all?
I wish. No.
And then after you met me, would you say that it was like bizarre that you were meeting people who were like, ooh, models? Like, what was your perception before of models before you met these people? You are making so many cheese sounds. He's cutting them on. I was like, cut your cheese up.
I'm quiet.
Before.
Quiet cuts.
Just remember, y'all, it wasn't me. If you're going to leave hate, Matthew Spruchman's Instagram handle is... Oh, yeah,
what is it?
Yeah. I guess this is why you keep
I'll
it all...
I like beer, too.
I keep it all discreet. So... Matt, your original perception of modeling, I can imagine, was very different than your perception of models that you know now. Because now you're pretty close to a couple of them that you met through me. Your best friend.
Oh, yeah. John, Patrick. True. Yes.
So I have to ask, when I was introducing you to them, and I was like, oh, this is my like really, 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 really good looking guy who's going to hang out with you tonight. All night. Like, was there a bit of like an, oh no, or like, I don't know what to expect, or were you scared? Like,
no, it was curiosity, because I never really known any. Gotcha.
So you didn't have a lot of preconceived notions then. You just knew that it was new, it was fresh territory. Interesting. So Matt, humor me. So within this podcast, always within this podcast, we're going to be reviewing a number of different steps, within the modeling industry as well, such as how people get started, their collective stories, how they differ, trends, representation, the kinds of shows, the kinds of facets of modeling. So I would love for you to kick off this podcast with our education in that regard. So tell me, Matt, how does one get started in modeling?
Wait, why are you asking me?
How does one get started in modeling?
They are good looking.
All right, and then once they're good looking...
That's the first step.
Where do they go from there? What's like the next
step?
Get an agent. Okay, so how does one get an agent as a model?
You call an agency.
You can call the model agency.
Model agency, yeah. I have no idea.
Okay, so then once you have your agent, after you've become good looking or been good looking, and you decide you call the modeling agency and you get yourself an agent.
Right.
What's the next step? Like, where do you go from there? It's like, all right.
The agent's responsibility is to get you modeling gigs.
So what are the different kinds of facets of modeling gigs? Like, between...
Like clothing brochures, there's lingerie shoots, there's... it depends on the model. You can be a hand model. You can be a foot model.
Whoa!
Yeah. I saw this one video on YouTube with this hand model. She's like never uses her hands for anything. She keeps them in like these glass, like in Zoolander, literally. She keeps them in these glass chambers, and she can't ever do anything with them. She can't ever use her hands, but they look. She's ugly, but her hands look really good.
That was some left field Spruchman knowledge if I've ever seen it. I didn't see
I'm not a complete noob.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Look at these hands.
So then, so in order to get modeling gigs, like what are like the body are there body requirements, height requirements? Like, what do you know about?
I think it depends.
Such as?
I mean, there's body plus models or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's the bigger.
Yeah.
And then there's. I think it depends on the advertisement company. Like if they're trying to advertise their clothes, like everyone can wear them. They're not going to want like a supermodel. Yeah. And so I think they'll get average Joes like myself.
What are the different kinds of gigs? It's like we've all seen like Victoria's Secret runway.
That's like the epitome, right? Like that's like.
Is it?
I would imagine that's like the epitome of modeling.
Victoria's Secret or runway modeling?
They're different things. Oh, the same thing.
So it sounds to me like you're saying runway is like the highest level of modeling.
That's my understanding, but I could be fucking wrong.
No, we know that. We all know that.
Oh, okay. Good. Now I do.
Okay, also let me make myself clear. Nobody hold Matt. I like to think it was pretty clear that the purpose of having him here was to represent like the onlookers, the average onlooker's idea of the modeling industry. So that way when we delve into the in-depth stories of these models, we can compare them to how we all kind of collectively feel about modeling until we learn better. So the point is, don't come for Matt. Matt's here because I called him yesterday and said I forgot that there needs to be an episode 0 of every podcast, and I've got like episodes 1 through 7.
I got all these cheeses,
and I need a creative way to like launch this because I really like when my first model kicks things off really well as a modeling story. So I was like, how can I top that in episode 0? I can't.
I'm gonna tank this sucker before it even starts. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the opposite of that and just create a catalyst for all my other episodes to do really well. Thank you. That's
true. That actually is a good strategy because it's really easy to like beat this episode. This is like the bottom level of quality. Oh. So the next one's for sure gonna be better.
Also, if that between your cooking with the cheese and that dog barking, I just remember. I'm not cooking. I just remember this being episode 0, being the first thing people hear. This sounds so unprofessional.
Working out the kinks. It's all right. It's real.
It's so real. Yeah. So I should make something very, very clear. As I'm sure. Okay, you know what? No, I'm going to pause this, shut the dog up, and I will be back. That is crazy. That's crazy. Oh, and know that while I do this, Matthew Spruchman is drinking soda out of a butterfly crystal glass. Pink. Okay, pause now. All right, that may have done not much, but it is better than it was, and I think we should celebrate the small victories.
Oh, it's supposed to clink now?
No.
Oh, okay.
We could clink. Do you want to? Weird.
That
was a beer bottle in a crystal glass, y'all. For any of you who ever wondered, that's what that sounds like.
Horrible clink.
So I should explain our rapport. Clearly, this isn't just like rando average Joe I called off the street this morning. I had the... I would go as far to say super average experience of being his roommate for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all aren't here watching Matt tear through like 6 different cheese wheels with his finger. So Matt, what I have to ask, what is your height?
6'1".
Interesting, because are you aware of the fact that runway modeling, it's like kind of the favored number, 6'1".
For guys,
it ranges between 5'11" and 6'2".
For guys?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes, for guys.
Really? What are you saying? Like, be a runway model?
What I'm going to add, first of all, I guess so. But secondly, have you ever thought about doing something? Why?
Because I don't know. I'm not comfortable with large crowds looking at me. And like me doing weird moves.
But I feel like that's every time we go out.
No one looks at me. The attention's never on me.
Oh, you're just blissfully ignorant.
Yes. Exactly.
But if you were in a runway show, you would know for sure.
Right. It's your show. People are looking at you.
But do you think that that's a skill that could be built, or do you think that that's like an inherent...
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's the same with like public speaking. Like I'm not really good at that, and that is the most common fear among a lot of people, including myself.
Yeah.
But you can get better at it.
Yeah. So...
Same thing. I destroyed this brie. Yeah. Destroyed it.
Yeah, you just wrecked that whole wheel. That was a full wheel of brie cheese.
Not anymore. It's gone. Tanked it.
Yeah. So Matt.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anybody tell you that you could be a model?
No.
Why?
Why? You ask them. No one's ever told me that.
So if I told you that all you had to do is take some photos and I knew people that I could submit them to, would you be interested in modeling?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
I mean, I'd be curious.
Okay.
If anyone would buy it.
Because here's what I would also have to ask. So like so the modeling that I do is print ad modeling because I'm not tall enough to do runway. And actually, common misconception that runway is...
You're not tall enough to do runway? Seriously?
No, of course not. I'm 5'6".
But for a girl, that's pretty tall.
That's petite.
What?
That is super petite. Yeah, there's like not a chance in hell. By the way, you can swear here.
How fucking tall is Giselle?
She's pretty fucking tall.
Yeah. She's beautiful.
So the point is, print ad modeling has nothing to do with so imagine runway is like a live theatrical production where like you're out there on stage and it's live and people clap and you take a bow,
Right.
But print ad modeling is more like film and television where you shoot the thing in private and then people see it later in a filtered way.
Right.
Does that seem scary to you?
Less so.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. This is taking a turn, you guys. So Matt, this is a good question. So let's say you decided tomorrow, you know what, actually that podcast, Viva changed my life. Yeah, I am going to get that money and flaunt what I got and model. Mm-hmm. What would be, and you knew I had told you got to get photos. Well, how would you go about getting photos?
I would ask someone to take photos for me. Of me, yeah.
But like, how would you,
Wrong preposition.
But is that like, I would take the photos of you sitting in this house, in this basement with that blue shirt on?
Yes.
Or like, what does that look like to you, a photo shoot in your head?
I think a photo of a model, they have to be looking away from the camera. Mm-hmm. They can't be looking at the camera. Mm-hmm. And they just kind of like look pensive, like they're deep in thought.
Mm-hmm. I've seen you do that. I've seen you do that a lot. Yeah.
So that's what I picture modeling.
But that's also your comedy look, like when you're trying to look like, that's it. Matt, are you also aware of the fact that your dimensions are also suitable to runway modeling?
I'm not aware of that. Is that true?
Yeah, because you can't be too buff, but you also can't be, just like dead. Like you have to. Literally, they look like you. They all look like you.
So they're average.
Yeah.
Like me. Sweet.
The common misconception of modeling. That's what I'm setting you all up for, is that everyone's really a Spruchman at heart.
That sucks for them.
So, Matt, what are your thoughts on posts? So when you see the photos that come out in magazines or on television, you see commercials and stuff, but mostly I'm thinking about like photos on Instagram, etc.
Yeah.
Like, are you familiar with the touching up and the Photoshop?
I'm familiar conceptually with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I ask because I remember this one time you and I were hanging out, and because par for the core, a bunch of cute girls like Matt.
It's par for the course.
Did I say? What did I
core.
say?
Par for the course. Okay. What does that mean? Par for the core.
It's French.
Okay.
Par for the course. Bunch of cute girls like Matt. And he was like, no, girls don't like me. That's a whole other podcast we can do about the power of self-fulfilling prophecy. And Matt could lead that one.
But your asshole again.
And so I remember asking him, like, all right, so then who are you interested? This is where I figured out, you're the problem. But like, it was like, who are you interested in? And he showed me a photo of Miranda Kerr. And it had been clearly photoshopped. And there were even videos on YouTube proving how it was photoshopped. And I was like, man, there was like specific things about her body. There were, I was like, Matt, the specific things about her body that you're telling me you love are the things that were photoshopped.
So you're saying I need a robot?
No, I mean, maybe. But what I'm saying is, like, are you aware or feel like, it's not fair for me to be like, you have been influenced by the culture, but... How is there a self-awareness of how Photoshop may have contorted your perception of like what attractive looks like?
I think that's true for everybody.
Mm-hmm. But are you like aware of it?
I'm aware of it. I just don't care.
That was a good answer.
If it looks good, it looks good. You know, that's all there is to it, really.
Also,
that's why I don't really have a problem with fake boobs. Mm-hmm. If it looks good, it looks good. Who cares who's fake?
Yeah, but you don't think that's a little different than Photoshop?
No, same thing.
I see where you're going with that, though. Like, I get it, because the question is, like, what is beauty? Like, what I get
what is beauty?
What is beauty, Matt? Beauty? Matt, what's beauty?
I look at it and I get happy. That's beauty.
That was a really good average response.
That's a pretty good response, right? It makes me happy.
So, Matt, how am I trying to ask you this? So, to you, what does the day of a model look like? Like, what's like your average day?
Well, obviously they have to mind their nutrition, and I'm sure they have to work out.
And what does that look like?
Figure.
Workout regimens and diet.
This is how I picture it. They get up, they have a kale smoothie in the morning.
Okay.
And they go to their hot yoga class.
Okay.
And make sure to hydrate. And then after the hot yoga class, they have a nice salad.
Is this not what you do, though?
No.
I feel like you've done exactly that.
Nah.
I'm like a really good week. Oh, you did?
Yeah, I need to start going again.
Why'd you stop going? Because that other girl kept going with you, which is another cute girl that...
No, I was actually going to ask if she wanted to go tomorrow, but...
Sure you were.
It's $10. I don't have time for this
shit. Why'd you stop going to hot yoga?
I'm going to my other gym now.
So Fight Club gym?
Exactly. Can't talk about
it. So a day in the life. So you get out of your hot yoga and you hydrate, you eat a salad.
Yeah.
And then
you tan.
Yeah.
You know, you get a nice tan.
Suntan or spray tan.
So here's the thing. I would hope they suntan because obviously tanning beds are bad for you.
Yeah.
So is tanning in general, but
it's
just more natural. Mm-hmm. And you've seen Final Destination, like if that shit goes haywire, you put a lie in the middle of the tanning bed. It's scary. I don't do that. Or they get a spray tan. And then the rest of the time they probably like meet people and network and do some bunch of bullshit. I don't know. I don't know what they do all day, to be honest.
Yeah. What is does it sound like it would be a hustle? Or does it sound
it's definitely a hustle. I'm sure like modeling has a similar drive needed to like being an actress, right? Because you have to know people, and so you have to put your face out there, put your name out there, and you have to like force your image into people's faces, like, hey, look at me. You know, and that's why Instagram, I think, is like really helpful for models now, because now anyone can be a model. They literally just, and Instagram even provides the filters for you. You don't have to be a Photoshop expert. You just post a couple photos of you chilling on a beach in a bikini, and then that, takes off from there. Easy.
So, what do you think about like people who aren't attractive? Can they be models? This is not a test.
I mean, it depends on the modeling, I guess. Attractive is subjective, so anyone can be attracted to anybody else, so it totally depends.
So what you're telling me is when you look at something and it makes you happy, it might not do the same for
Absolutely.
somebody else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's in the eye of the beholder.
Wow, that's super insightful of you, Matthew Spruchman.
Uh-huh.
Of all people.
Every now and then I see something smart.
But still delightfully, like, average, insightful. Do you like some wine?
No. Cool. I got my Coca-Cola.
So I'm surprised that you see hustle in it, because when I first started getting into modeling, I had this idea in my head. And I was actually delightfully surprised that it was the other way around, because hustle you have control over, you know? It's so hustle heavy, and I also assumed that it would, like, come easy. Like, I assumed that, like, if you just met the measurements and looked a certain way.
Okay, I'm a child.
Don't be ashamed, buddy. You're in the right place.
Oh, good.
You're in safe hands.
Next to the Kiss pinball machine.
You're an average guy episode.
I'm not what?
You're suitable to the brand.
Guy episode?
Average guy. You know this. Average guy episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, everybody beyond this episode will be far from average. Yeah.
I understand.
But this is a good baseline. You're like the miso mommy note to the rest of the podcast.
I don't quite understand that metaphor.
Little cooking metaphor.
I don't cook.
Yes, you do.
I do make a vegetable soup.
So let's go from that to modeling. So in modeling, do you imagine that the dieting would be challenging? Or do you think that a lot of these people... Okay, see, that's interesting too, because it seemed to me like a lot... Before I started to learn stuff, like after a certain point, you start to meet people and, when you're in the industry, you have eyes. So I came to realize that it's a lot more challenging for people than I previously realize, but so much of the marketing is heavy on making these people look naturally flawless. Like, they woke up like this, and I forget the name of the series, and I probably shouldn't list it anyway, but on YouTube, they have like a waking up with so-and-so series.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a lot of models on the show. And when they wake up, their hair is done. Their makeup ready. They look refreshed. Like, everything about it makes it look like they woke up like this. Yeah. And then, of course, oftentimes I can imagine that, like, what I eat in a day videos are garbage. Like, maybe on, like, one really good day a week.
Right.
You eat like
they probably cut out the parts where they eat, like, a brownie or something.
Nothing. Or nothing. You know, it's like they cut out the
That's the thing. Like, everything I know about modeling, not everything, but a lot of it comes from movies. Mm-hmm. So, like, obviously Zoolander I know is a joke. But Devil Wears Prada, I love that movie. Yeah. But it talks about, like, kind of fashion in general and modeling. And that one lady was like, I'm on this diet where it was Emily Blunt or whatever.
Yeah, Emily Blunt.
Yeah, that was like her first big movie. And she was saying that she's on a diet where she doesn't eat anything, and then when she feels like she's about to pass out, she eats a cube of cheese.
So kind of what you're
is that like? I hope that's not true. I know models probably don't eat. They cut their calories a lot, I would imagine.
Ooh, okay, so this is going to be... you're not going to...
Which scares the crap. I love
it. So, and also, by the way, you guys, like, this is where I'm really excited to interview all these different... I thought I knew a lot about modeling. I am a model now. I have a lot of friends that do all kinds of different modeling, but interviewing... No, of course not. Average guy. But interviewing these people in depth, I'm coming to realize I know nothing, and I really thought I did. And I just spoke with one woman, swimsuit model, who for her, she is teeny tiny, and she did do runway, and she was telling me about you always need to fit the sample size so beauty can look as diverse as it can within the sample sizes, and the sample sizes were a small top, extra small bottoms. So that's like within the realm of super skinny, you can do other things. Right. And I asked her, so is that challenging to hold up? And she said, for me, like, her whole family, she chalked it up to a fast a fast metabolism. From understanding more about her family, God bless you, Matt. By the way, this girl is from Texas and she's single, Matt.
When is she coming on the episode?
She just did.
Wait, there's already an episode with her?
Yeah.
I thought this was episode 0.
This is episode 0 because I'm launching the whole series in like a number of seasons. So that way, let's say I scheduled you for next week and I just aired this and everyone was so excited I have Matt back and you flaked on me and you're like, I can't come. Right. You know, that's a downer. Yeah. But the point is for her, her whole family, they've always been really food conscious. You know, they've been healthy eaters. They know portion control. And so for her... with the weight, it was so easy. So she was one of the rare examples of people that this kind of came easy for. Right. And so her hustle was entirely about, you know, putting in the footwork and you, like you said, networking and meeting people. And she said her career changed the day she got her business cards and it said model. You know, she was like, the day essentially she was able to like dress for the part she wanted instead of the part she had. Right. She would go out to bars with a blazer and hand the cards out, you know, and like immediately things started happening. Right. But for most people, the biggest issue would be trying to suit the size and the look of a model because it is so limited. Yeah. Very often. And with runway, you know, print is a totally different beast, which is great, but also has its complications. But it was really interesting that like I had interviewed a male model right before her, another runway model, and I expected for dudes it would be a lot easier because there is more wiggle room. Right. For size there, a little bit more wiggle room, but for him it was really hard. God, that was him smacking his stomach. But for him it was really, really hard. This might just be a half-hour episode, y'all.
No, I mean...
No? Fight for it, Matt.
We can go a whole hour, no problem. Okay, we're going to do this. I'm just speaking from my experience. I like to eat. Yeah. I like food. And so it's hard for me to... I mean, it requires a lot of discipline. And especially, for someone who's busy, who has a working, full-time job. Mm-hmm. You don't have time to... I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a combination of laziness and not having time to meal prep. Yeah. And maybe and also it's kind of like overwhelming the amount of diets out there and trying to figure out which one's best.
Oh,
it's overwhelming.
That's what
It's like, I don't know if keto is the best, but then I've heard that it's bad as well.
Did you hear about the cotton ball diet?
No. What the hell was that?
That was
eat actual cotton balls?
For models that did struggle with their weight. Yeah, they would dip cotton balls in orange juice.
Disgusting.
And it would supposedly fill them up, but of course they had like major medical issues because they're, cotton.
Right, it's not food. It's just like so overwhelming because there's all these different diets and everyone swears by them and you don't know which one's best for your body. So it's like vegan and there's paleo and there's keto, there's this intermittent fasting and there's
most of it is just
carnivore diet. And I don't know what to believe.
Well,
here's a
at a
question
certain
for
point,
you.
what?
Do you consider porn stars models? Whoa.
I guess it depends on what they do. I would consider...
Blew your mind.
I would consider... I haven't thought it through, obviously, but you know how, like, reality television, for example, is totally scripted. And we all know it's scripted, but we all like to pretend that it isn't. I actually think porn stars are more like reality stars.
I was going to say, that, or like more like actresses than they are models, in a way, because they're entertaining people.
Yeah, like, they're
really entertaining people.
I think the funny thing is, I think they're a lot more like reality stars than anything
No, because I guess reality stars get paid, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. They get paid a lot.
So reality shows are real.
Oh, my God. You sound like my cousin. Trying to convince her that...
The Bachelor is in love.
Matt.
I could be a model.
That's what we've come to discover here, you guys. Well, you know what they say. You can't grow a peanut unless you water an orange.
I do say that. If you have 2 nuts short of a glass of honey, then you're going to be... knocking on doors for the rest of your life.
Well, you can walk all you want, honey, but you can't smell the reindeer.
That's true. Speak the truth. If I had 2 nickels for every time a ugly duck put its butt in my face, and I have 2 nickels short of 2 posterior dolphins.
We come up with fake sayings sometimes, especially if shit gets deep. That's a really good time to bust it out.
Yeah.
Or if Matt said to me, if you look me in the eye, and he was like, I'll never feel pretty. And I could have been like, we know what they say about princesses. You got to bob for apples from time to time.
I was going to say, no, the saying I've heard, what they say about princesses?
What?
I smell crack.
I have 3 questions that I ask everybody on this show.
Ooh.
My first question is, what's your favorite thing about modeling?
What do you mean, like about being a spectator of modeling?
What's your favorite thing about modeling?
The good-looking ladies. That's my favorite thing.
What is your least favorite thing about modeling? That you're not one?
Yeah, probably. I'm not one of them. I don't know any.
No, I didn't mean to shark that answer. Let's start over. What's your least? No, let's start completely over. What's your favorite thing about modeling?
Looking at beautiful women.
Yeah. What's your least favorite thing about modeling?
Like hand models and foot models. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Yeah.
All right. And then I would ask, so this doesn't have to do anything with modeling. I ask everybody, what's just like kind of cool?
What?
What's kind of cool? Like anything that's happening to you recently, or a product that you like, or in the world you're like rabbits or fuzzy and like whatever. Like what's just like kind of cool that you can think of right now? And I give one too. Give me anything. Anything that's like kind of cool. Yeah, it's no pressure because you're just kind of cool. You're average guy. You should be good at this. Average cool.
I don't know. I don't know.
How is this the hardest question?
That's hard. What's kind of cool? That Kiss pinball machine is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. So my roommate has a Kiss pinball machine down here in this basement where we get, like, the clearest audio. And Matt has never been down here before because...
I've never been to his house before.
It's weird when I ask people to come down to the basement.
It's a little weird.
But, yeah he loves... It's a Kiss pinball machine.
Yeah. I want to rock it, well, all right, and party every day. Yeah.
Cool, kind of cool, man.
It's cool.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay, my kind of cool is... I think you rubbed off on me. This always comes so easy. No! Oh, I guess kind of cool is I finally narrowed down my options for what I'm doing this summer.
Ooh, where are they?
Florida. Yeah. Or I could just start this podcast with that. Yeah. I'm just gonna score your voice. Yo, you can be my soundtrack under the entire.
Yeah. Welcome to the modeling podcast.
Cool. That's kind of cool.
That's not bad.
As well as average.
Yeah, that was average beatboxing.
Well, you know what we say? We actually don't, because I guess this is the first episode now. You know what we're going to be saying on this podcast. Matt, would you please not make sounds while I'm outroing? Oh my God. Okay, everybody, you listen. You keep walking the walk, and we'll keep talking the talk.
That's terrible. Can I come up with a different one?
Oh, gross. That was my boy, Matthew Spruchman, you guys. I'm so excited to bring on our very first model, John Macheski. In the next episode, he makes modeling look so easy, but shares with us all the exceptional behind-the-scenes challenges.
We all look about the same, like measurement-wise. Yeah. We all have about the same ratio, like because that's what fits the clothes. I want to get stronger, which is a problem because I don't want to get bigger.
I really couldn't have asked for a stronger lineup, so I really appreciate you all sharing this podcast. Comment below any questions you'd like to see answered on the show. And remember, you walk the walk and we'll talk the talk.